Ms Legalista, aka Attorney Sheila here, asking you the question today: is John Morant a self scammer?
Yeah.
You guys, if you're new to the channel, I really haven't been around that long on this channel, but I've been focusing on scams, frauds, fraudsters. I talked about the Grizzlies, Elizabeth Holmes, and some of the celebrities who have been in the news too. My goal is to make you aware of some of these things so that, that hard-earned money that you have put in the bag, that you don't lose it, that you don't drop it, that you don't fumble the bag. And many times that happens as a result of other people who were trying to take our money, scammers and fraudsters. I just did one yesterday about kids posing as candy scammers. I tell you, they got all the bases covered now. But I want to talk about self scammers, people who get in their own way. When you look in the mirror, what do you see back? You see yourself scamming yourself. I want to talk about John Morant. He plays for the Grizzlies. He's now been in the news a second time for some of his antics that don't involve basketball, that typically involve a firearm now. And so I want to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to start by just showing you a piece of this video. I'm actually not going to show the video because YouTube can get so funky about that sort of thing. But here's where you can go to watch the video and you can see for yourself what's going on in the video as he is singing along with one of his friends there. So, at about the 13-second mark out of the 30 seconds of video, you can take a look at it yourself to see whether or not he is waving a firearm around. One of the things that the NBA commissioner said about this when he had this initial conversation with him last time around, where he got I guess the eight the what do you call it, the 8-game suspension, was he said he talked to him not just about the safety piece of it, not just about himself, but also about the number of followers he has and how many of those followers are kids. And, John Morant said he was going to take all of this into consideration and he was going to try to do better. But now it's all happened again. And the Grizzlies, look, released what I think has got to be the shortest statement ever. Look, I mean, this is all you do. Your PR team will say, because as it says here, it's coming from the Grizzlies PR office. Just be clear about this. They've crafted their statement, and it is a one-sentence statement from the Memphis Grizzlies on their Twitter account. Memphis, Tennessee, we are aware of the social media video involving John Morant. He is suspended from all team activities pending league review. We have no further comment at this time. Okay, I was wrong. Two sentences is two sentences. And this was released just a few days ago. You've got a contact person there if you have some questions about that. Now, yeah, most of the time you're going to see your PR team step up and issue a statement. Most of the time, that statement is going to say something about we're conducting an investigation. And it does take a while for people to look at the video and determine if it is an accurate representation of what happened. And some people will sometimes get up in arms about the amount of time that it takes. But let me say this: we have seen recently the growth in AI technology when it comes to voice, when it comes to pictures and video. We've seen photoshopping before, but this is on a whole new level. So you do have to actually take time to determine whether or not this is a true video and have a conversation with the parties involved. Hey, is that you? Who took this video? When did you take it? What was going on? You want to verify all the facts before you jump out there. I have seen instances, one that occurred right here in the city that I live in. It was a number of years ago, and everything looked a certain way. It became just a real big media event given the people that were involved. And it turns out some of what we thought had happened had not actually happened. So you do have to take some time to verify these facts and make sure. And this is exactly what Adam Silver was saying in this interview. He said, honestly, and this is on ESPN, you guys can go catch it for yourselves. I've got the link down there at the bottom. It says, he said, honestly, I was shocked when I saw this weekend that video. Now we're in the process of investigating it, and we'll figure out exactly what happened to the best we can. The video is a bit grainy and all that, but I'm assuming the worst. Now, this part where he says he's assuming the worst, to me, that means he's already looked at it. And he's looked at it and he says, oh no, here we go again. This is Morant waving this firearm again, second time around. This is a problem. So yeah, I'm assuming the worst, but we're going to check our boxes first to make sure that we're good with everything. So then we had the statement that comes from him. And Morant says, I know I've disappointed a lot of people who have supported me. This is a journey, and I recognize there is more work to do. My words may not mean much right now, but I take full accountability for my actions. I'm committed to continuing to work on myself. And just for a moment here, let's just stop and look at these numbers here at the bottom, okay? You've got almost 30,000 likes. You've got 5,000 quotes here. You've got getting close to now 3,000 retweets on this. And this just was posted 2 days ago, and it's got almost 40 million views. That is a lot of eyeballs. That's a lot of eyeballs. That's like 80 million eyeballs up there, pretty much, if most people have two. But what I'm saying is that's a lot of people looking at this and having some thoughts and comments and feelings about this. So I want to just sort of break this statement down just a little bit here. And he says, I know I've disappointed a lot of people who have supported me. Yes, look at the numbers. Okay. And not just these people, but remember, he's got teammates. These teammates likely feel let down now. It's like, dude, bruh, come on. He's got all of the other teams. And so, not just the members of the Grizzlies, but all of these other teams who are depending on having a brand that people want to come and be a part of. They want to still get behind their team. And so now there's this possibility of, hey, I don't want my children watching this guy if this is what he's doing. And if this is what the NBA as a whole is supporting, then I don't know that I want my children in that environment. So there's a lot of concern here when you look at what's being said. It's not just, when he talks about letting a lot of people down. Yeah, it's a lot of people. He says, my words may not mean much right now. Yeah, because people are saying, you said this before. We've heard this before. We hear it before from other people. But when do things start to change? He says, I'm committed to continuing to work on myself. Now, that's the piece, I think, sometimes where you do have to give people a chance. People say, well, how many chances do you give somebody? How many chances do you give somebody? Here's the one chance already. Now we got to give you a second chance. There are going to be some consequences here. Sure, you want to do that? There are consequences. It may cost you a lot. It may cost you a lot. It's being reported now he may lose some of his deals. There's some questions around that. I'll look at how much money we're talking about. But yeah, there's a lot at stake here. All right. I'm committed to working on myself. And we hope that you continue to work on yourself. Because right now, like I said before, when you look in the mirror, the person who is doing the scam on you, who is running the fraud on you, is you. You're the one who's buying into the actions that you're taking. Look at the amount of money here that we're talking about. And this is me doing just a quick Google search here, Morant contract amount. Yeah, keep it short and simple like that. This is according to Sport Track. Morant signed a 5 year. Look at how much money that is. Most people would be like, I'd take a portion of that, and you would not see me engaging in the kind of actions that you have engaged in. A lot of people would agree to that. So yeah, let me talk about this last sort of thing here, because there now have been some questions about, hey, what about the Nike deal? There have been some reports that his shoes been taken off the website. I don't know. I didn't check. It's not something I would be buying, but it's been reported that he has a $12 million Nike deal. Where is that going? Where is that going? So has he scammed himself? I'm not so much worried about us, because we'll generally move on to the next person. I do worry about young people who follow celebrities and athletes who are at the top of their careers, especially those who want to follow in those sorts of paths. But what is going on here is you're scamming yourself when we do these things. Okay, we're looking in the mirror. We are the ones who are tricking ourselves and deceiving ourselves. Let me read to you dictionary.com what it says a scam is. It says a trick used to cheat someone out of something. Right now, when Morant is taking these sorts of actions, he's cheating himself. He's tricking himself into thinking, okay, this is the thing that I need to do. This is the thing that I want to do. And then on the other end, he is the one who's suffering the losses. He is the one who's suffering the consequences of those actions. He's self-scamming himself. And it takes a while for people to grow up. That's another thing. He's 23 years old, if I recall correctly. It's a lot of responsibility, that kind of money. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt to help to continue to work on himself and hope that he will continue to work on himself. I don't have any doubt, but it's a process. It's a process. It takes time. We tend to sit back and say, oh, I hope that a person learned their lesson. Sometimes it takes a couple of times before you get there, but in the end, it's a person who's looking back at us in the mirror who is committing the scam. Like, we got to own that scam, okay? Because that's when we start to recognize, okay, let me stop scamming myself, stop taking these hits, these losses, stop dropping my own bag, because that's what you're doing, and possibly resulting in other people's bags getting dropped too, and start to do something different. But yeah, just wanted to share a few comments on self scamming and how we can talk about ways of moving beyond that too. It's one thing to talk about other people scamming us. A lot of times, though, we need to talk about how we scam ourselves. That's it. Hope that brings a little bit of value into your day. Decent conversation. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. Mwah. Peace.